Chiefs Kingdom, welcome back to another episode of All Chiefs Up. We're back with another podcast for that ass. And today we got some Chiefs visiting the White House, the Bills sign a new player, and we're going to talk some Justyn Ross. But first up, Steve, we're going to talk about the Baltimore Ravens. Mark Andrews comes out with a story today and said his balls are incredible. Talking about Lamar Jackson. What in the world is going on in Baltimore?
I don't know. Judging by the picture, he's telling them his balls are incredible. Freaking slap nuts part 3 here.
Dude, his balls are incredible? Who says that?
Balls.
Why would they use that as a headline? Who did this? The Game Day? Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Who takes that as a quote and puts it out there and isn't trying to throw shade? Like these people have to hate Baltimore, right?
Hey, there's no way he's talking about his passes because we know Lamar Jackson throws ducks all over the field. He's talking about his legit balls, I believe.
He might be. And I'm still saying that whoever put this up, maybe it was somebody that like Mark Andrews used to pick on in high school or something. He's like, I will get you back one day, you son of a bitch.
Man, his balls are incredible. I'm just going to leave you guys with that one. Steve, let's move on to Justyn Ross. It looks like the hype over Justyn Ross has spread over to Pete Schrager, Good Morning Football, and NFL Network. Peter's top 5 breakout wide receivers of 2023. He lists Justyn Ross as number 5 over 3 number 1 draft picks and a number 2 pick, I believe what Tyquan Thornton was. Is this insanity? What is going on with the Justyn Ross hype?
So he's got him at number 5, so he don't have him over those other guys. But either way, he's on the list. That's incredible.
He
that
put
this
him
UDFA,
in the same breath. Breath.
This UDFA that hasn't stepped a foot on the football field yet. Like, these guys all got a season under their belt. He was on IR. So, like, man, Schrager is fully aboard the hype train. Like, I don't know if he went to Kansas City and got fully engulfed or something during the parade and everybody's, like, talking about Justyn Ross, or I don't know what's happening here. But, I mean, we're all pretty hyped about Justyn Ross, but I feel like that's a bit of a reach.
Hey, we're hyped about Justyn Ross, but come on. Garrett Wilson, wasn't he Rookie of the Year last year? Drake London is this ginormous receiver that had a pretty good season. Chris Olave is being talked about as having a really good year this year. Tyquan Thornton, hey, Mac Jones throwing him the ball. I don't think that's that great. But putting Justyn Ross at number 5 is just flat out incredible. Like, Pete Schrager has got the hype train going on all cylinders here.
Well, he's missing some other guys that were rookies last year, too, that I think is incredible that he has Justyn Ross above. And that's going to be George Pickens, Christian Watson, Alec Pierce, Jahan Dodson, Treylon Burks, Romeo Doubs, Sky Moore, everybody. Sky Moore.
Right.
Wan'Dale Robinson even with the Giants. And then you still got guys like Shakir that's probably going to get more work in Buffalo and lots of other guys. It's just crazy how much hype.
This is assuming that we're just talking about rookies. It don't say nothing about rookies to the second year. It just says breakout. What about Kadarius Toney? We're forgetting so many people. And Justyn Ross goes right to that list. That's insanity. Justyn Ross is firmly on the cut line. Even people in Chiefs Kingdom are starting to come around to the possibility that Justyn Ross may not make this team. He firmly sits on the cut line. And Pete Schrager's over here and got him number 5. Good for Pete Schrager. Bravo, Pete Schrager. Bravo
Good job,
to
buddy.
Pete Schrager. Give him a round of applause. That's some Chiefs love. Pete Schrager is a Chiefs homer, I believe, Steve. Is he not? I think he's starting to become one.
I think he's kind of been one, like secretly for like a year or two. I think he's a Mahomes homer, maybe. I'm a homer.
I'm a homer.
But either way, he does say some incredibly stupid things at times too that make me scratch my head. So I'm not for sure if he's all in. But this tells you right here that he pays attention to Chiefs Kingdom, because I don't think Justyn Ross is that big of a hype outside of our fan base, because I mean, he's a UDFA that hasn't even played yet. A lot of people don't even give him a second thought that he even exists. So I think he's definitely in touch with Chiefs Kingdom for sure.
100% agree to that one. Congrats to Pete Schrager. Congrats for giving Justyn Ross some love. You know, we talk about him being a little overhyped. We think he's firmly on the cut line. A lot of Chiefs Kingdom, again, as I said he's right around that cut line. But just to get some hype and get him on TV for everything he's went through, congrats, Justyn Ross. Thank you, Peter Schrager, for being for having enough cojones. I'm sure Mark Andrews thinks that your balls are incredible too, and I appreciate that. And we think your balls are incredible, Pete Schrager. And Steve, let's move on. The Chiefs went to the White House yesterday. They got to visit the White House. They got an invite. This was kind of polarizing. What kind of world do we live in where you're not even allowed to go to the White House anymore, you know, because of political backfire, everything else? It's insanity. But we did see, here's some photos and everything. Did you get to see where Travis Kelce went to the mic and Mahomes pulls him off the mic because he's about to deliver an amazing speech to the world.
He was about to deliver a really loud F-bomb, I believe. I think that's what Travis Kelce was going to go for. So good job by Mahomes for saving the world there from that. But yeah, just a cool experience for all the guys. It was cool to see the guys that aren't even on the team anymore that were part of the team last year, like McCole Hardman and some of the other guys, get to come back and go to that. Frank Clark was there, Carlos Dunlap. But yeah, it's a cool experience. And Andy Reid called President Biden President Obama, which was fun. And then there was that clip that you showed me last night where it sounded like gunfire or something crazy in the background.
And then Andy Reid drops multiple Fs.
He didn't, but he said, "Everybody okay?" That was priceless. That was good.
What was all the fake Fs at the end of it? It sounded like, did somebody put that in, or what was that?
I did not hear that. I don't know what you're even talking about.
Oh my God, you got to redo it. We're gonna find a clip. We'll throw it up. I don't know. We'll get it on the next episode or something. It's hilarious. He just started saying F-bombs.
No, he didn't.
Somebody has photoshopped it or something. I swear to you. I'm going to find it. I'm cracking up.
I think you misheard what he actually said, and I think I heard what he actually said.
What did he actually say?
That's what I think happened. I don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't F-bombs or I would have known.
Dude, I don't feel like Andy Reid would be at the White House dropping F-bombs, but if anybody would, it'd be that guy right there on the right. Look at that face. Look at the walrus. But like you mentioned, Frank Clark come back. Carlos Dunlap, there was a sighting. It's good to see the guys back. I wonder if Juan Thornhill got back.
Pull that picture back up. Picture back up. Yeah, look at them sexy tight ends in the background. Is that Blake Bell on the right, and you got Noah Gray on the left back there looking like CIA agents and stuff?
Is that Noah Gray? For some reason, I was thinking it was Tommy Townsend, but
no, that's Noah Gray.
Really bad.
Yeah.
I think it is.
You need to update that. You need to go to the eye doctor.
I don't know who's behind Mahomes, but I want to imagine it's Jamal Charles snuck in. That's who I want to imagine. But that's enough of the Chiefs at the White House. It was an honor to be invited. It doesn't matter political affiliation. Like, you don't always have to agree, but that's an honor to be there. Nobody should be fighting over that.
I always find it stupid when teams refuse to go. Like, it started with the last president, obviously, and it's kind of went over into this one, and it's like, who cares what you think? Like, you don't just get to go to the White House. You're not invited to the White House every day. Just suck it up and go do it, man. You're going to regret it later if you don't.
Didn't Frank Clark say anybody can take a visit, but they were invited? And that's the point.
Hey,
they were invited.
Real quick, before we move on, did you see the picture of Stone Cold just taking a nap?
I didn't.
This dude got invited to the White House, and he's literally just like sitting there taking a nap. That's how much he gave a crap about it. Like, that's typical Stone Cold, right?
I seen his suit. His suit was flat out suave.
I think it was Frank Clark took a picture of him sleeping, and there's like the monument in the background. It's just like this epic photo of Chris Jones not giving a crap about what's going on.
You got to sleep sometime. Might as well sleep. Half the White House is asleep anyway. So let's move on. Steve, the Bills, we got to talk about DHop just a tad bit. I know people are mad, but the Bills have actually made a move here. The Bills, according to Ian Rappaport, have signed Leonard Floyd. So if they're signing Leonard Floyd, they are looking as though their cap is not very good. They're probably out on the DHop thing. DHop is more and more likely to end up somewhere where he don't want to be because he is dragging this out forever and ever. But the last time Leonard Floyd and Von Miller were on the same team, Steve, that was with the Rams, and they won a Super Bowl. Does this make the Bills any more of a threat to the Chiefs at all?
Well, I mean, anytime they improve their squad, it's going to make them just a little bit more of a threat, but I'm not worried about it whatsoever. And like you said, it's getting closer and closer to DHop having to go somewhere he don't want to go, but it's also getting closer and closer to DHop maybe going to the Kansas City Chiefs because they're the only ones that haven't been thrown out of this conversation. We actually covered yesterday about the team that offered him 1 year, $2 million. All reports that I can find on that say that it was the Baltimore Ravens that did that. Okay. So if that's the case, that means the Chiefs are still a player along with Cleveland. And then I think there was also rumors that it could have been Dallas that offered him that. So, I mean, everybody's talked about Baltimore mostly, but they also said it could have been Dallas. If that's the case, man, it's getting narrowed down pretty good here. And maybe Stone Cold Jones was taking a nap at the White House because he was up late contract negotiating with his agent.
Maybe so. I wouldn't understand why Dallas would offer such a low ball contract. They've got a lot of cap money. Baltimore makes a little more sense. But as long as it wasn't the Chiefs, I'm with you. I think there's still a chance. Again, Lance from The Spoken is still all in on this. He's wishing him a happy birthday today. It's DHop's birthday, I think. And and he said future Chief #1. We're all hyped up over this. I still don't think it happens. This cat's going to end up with Wacker, or he's going to end up in New England with the guy that shipped him out of Houston.
Hey,
Bill O'Brien.
With Wack Jones.
Isn't Bill O'Brien's the guy shipped him out of Houston? He's the offensive coordinator up there in New England. Why does he want to go there? What are you doing?
Yeah, man, I don't know about it. I think that there's a decent, small but decent chance that the Chiefs do pull this deal off. And if so, then more power to them. It's just going to make our team better. But either way, I'm with you, man. I think that he's probably going to end up somewhere that he doesn't necessarily want to be, according to the whole speech about, I'm all about winning. I want to win a ring. I don't care about the money. It's looking more and more like he might not be truthful about that.
Yeah, I think everybody's starting to see that. I think it's starting to wear a little thin, even on the guys that want him here. Like I said, there's half the fan base that don't want him, half the fan base that do want him. I think the half that do want him are starting to lose a little patience. Patience is getting thin. He's starting to dance on the line. The line, the patience line. Here it is.
Look, like I said yesterday, I mean, there's a lot of things that have to go on for these teams to free up cap space to sign somebody like DHop. So, I mean, he's got to be patient, as well as the fans have got to be patient, because there's so many things going on in the background to make these kind of deals possible. Because, I mean, flat out, most teams are broke. And then the teams that aren't, I don't think he's real interested in going. I mean, honestly, wouldn't think he'd be like super interested in going to Cleveland or New England. I think we saw in that video where they asked him about New England, he made the stank face. He didn't want nothing to do with it. So, I mean, I think he's just trying to be patient and get to where he wants to go. And like I said, we're still a player here in Kansas City, so we'll see how it works out.
I mean, personally, I think he wants to go to Baltimore. Because those balls are incredible, Steve. Those balls are incredible. Those incredible balls up there in Baltimore.
They're attracting them.
Yeah. Well, a lot of gamers around talking about Madden. Everybody's loving Madden. People are throwing out some alternate Madden covers, Steve. I'm going to throw a few of these up. You haven't seen about it, but first and foremost, let's throw this up. EA Sports should make Damar Hamlin the Madden 24 cover athlete. Celebrate a moment that brought us all together for once, regardless of what team you cheer for, says Robert Griffin III. What a beautiful sentiment, Steve. But my God, let's don't give a guy that almost died on the field the Madden curse. Like,
right. That was my comment instantly when I saw this. I even left a comment on this.
No way.
I swear, either on Facebook or Twitter, one I don't remember, but I saw it and I'm like, what in the world are you guys thinking? What are you wishing upon this man? Like, he had the worst experience ever on a football field last season. So let's give him the Madden curse this year and see how much worse it can get.
Wasn't Mahomes the only one that actually broke the Madden curse? Wasn't he one of the only ones to ever do that? And
yes.
Then you're going to – so the odds are not in his favor. I don't want to curse Damar any longer.
No. He don't need nothing to do with that. Let's just keep it away from him. Sorry, Damar. The Madden cover is usually set aside for someone that's performing at an elite level. And I think that we should stick with that just because it's always been the formula. And once again, we don't want to curse this guy. He's been through enough.
Right. Well, what about this cover, Steve? Madden 24, the Cry Eagles Cry limited edition. Bradbury holding Juju. I wonder if they can say that this is not a penalty anymore after seeing it right there on the Madden cover. Cry Eagles Cry limited edition. I think I would cop this one. Let's be honest.
I would buy one of those and frame it. I'd hang it up on the wall. That's a beautiful cover, and I think that they might want to go with this one. Madden should consider it. EA Sports, if you're watching, this might be where you want to go with it. Because, I mean, believe it or not, he was holding. And now we can see it. And it might solve a lot of problems that's been going on with the fan bases over the offseason here. Like, we don't have to argue anymore. It's right here in front of us on the Madden cover.
Right. People are still arguing that this was not a hold. They're still arguing that Juju, got away with one. I don't understand. It is right here. It's right here. Nothing
Plain
more to
as
see.
Day.
Nothing more to see there. Champs, and go cry a little bit. The last cover, Steve, and let's hope the Madden curse would not hit with this one. Okay, because we don't need the Madden curse on this one either. The Most Wanted edition. The Most Wanted edition with Chiefsaholic, Madden 24. I'm copping this one too. Do you think Chiefs Kingdom's going to love this one or not?
This one's a freaking genius for an obvious reason. You do want him to get the Madden curse. If you want law enforcement to catch this guy, this is the way to go about it, right?
Right.
Say the FBI gets with EA Sports and they're like, look, we know that you guys want to put someone stupid on the cover like Josh Allen or something like that. But if you just go ahead and if you put Chiefsaholic on there, you'll curse them enough for us to catch them. We don't have a threat out there to the public, and it's a beautiful cover, if I must say so myself.
Dude, that cover is magnificent. It is
Look at them
magnificent.
pants.
Look at those pants. Just look at those pants. It's magnificent.
Can you believe that there's a guy out there that he's got more balls than Lamar Jackson? He's got incredible balls. He wears those pants and he robs banks to go to Chiefs games. Like, his balls are way more incredible than Lamar's.
He said, "You have no marbles. You have no marbles." That's him. That's him. Dude, that is a beautiful cover. That is a beautiful cover. I'm all down for that one. Who's some people you would not want to see on the Madden cover? Again, I'm going to kick it off. I'm going to say Josh Allen. I don't think Josh Allen needs the Madden curse. If he gets the Madden curse, this dude may just retire next year because he's a Madden curse all in himself. As soon as the playoff comes around, this guy's a Madden curse.
Well, let me throw this out there. I don't care if Josh Allen gets the Madden curse. It does not bother me or affect me any. I don't think it affects anything, actually, because nothing's going to change.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think that's like the one that they might end up going with. That's like the word on the street. Buffalo fans are so excited about it. They're throwing it out there.
You know who I want to get the Madden curse?
Who?
Joe Burrow and the Bengals. That's who I want the Madden curse to hit.
Well, let me tell you who I think.
Let's watch the full meltdown. Go ahead.
I'll tell you who I think is going to get the Madden curse this year. Unfortunately, I believe that they are going to use Jalen Hurts on the cover of Madden. That would be my guess.
That is a good guess. And Jalen Hurts, hey, we found a good stat yesterday. A lot of Eagles fans fighting over us, calling him a running back.
They got so mad about it.
Dude, they're so mad because he threw 22 touchdowns.
There was a guy that actually said that he outplayed Mahomes all year and he was a better quarterback. And I simply responded with, that's cute. Jalen Hurts is a running back. And good Lord, here they come in full force. So, that was my point, man. I'm like, okay, so if he's such a great quarterback, then why did he throw for 22 touchdowns last year and Mahomes threw for 41? And also, why did Jalen Hurts only have 5 less carries than the Chiefs RB1? Because he had 160 attempted rushes, or 165, and Isaiah Pacheco himself only attempted 170 rushes. So that puts you in the running back category, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're firmly a running back. If our RB1, that, by the way, Isaiah Pacheco, sky's the limit on this guy. He's going to be all world by the end of his career. He's going to be a beast. And
I have a question.
This guy only has 5 more carries than your starting quarterback. Come on.
I've never seen Isaiah Pacheco throw a ball before, but I'd be willing to bet if he took every snap for the entire season and they told him to, you can only run it 170 times. So the rest of the time you just need to throw it and see if you can catch somebody open, something like that. I think he might be able to, get a few touchdowns.
No,
I mean, come on.
He's not throwing 22. Look, the last running back to be this successful at quarterback than Jalen Hurts is this big bald man up here in Baltimore, Steve. Mark Andrews, his balls are incredible. Are you tired of seeing this yet? Because I love it. I can't stop. This is going to be a permanent fixture probably from now on.
Yeah, sorry, guys. We're going to be looking at the balls a lot.
Dude, so
Lamar's
many
balls.
Dude, it's incredible. Who says this? What kind of grown man says this in the year 2023? Who knows? I got another one for you, Steve. Winningest North American sports franchises. Look at those Chiefs, baby. 0.754, which means we're winning 1 out of every 7.5 games out of 10. And, wait, I said that wrong. We're winning 7.5 to 8 games out of 10. Okay, I'll get it right in a second. The closest one here are a couple New England, Boston teams up here. You got the Bruins. You also got the Tampa Bay Lightning, and then you got the Milwaukee Bucks. Is it more crazy to think the Chiefs are ahead by almost a game and a half on every single sport in every franchise? Or is it crazier to know that the Milwaukee Bucks are actually on this list?
Giannis. I mean, they have the Greek freak, and so do we. So maybe that's the common denominator here. But either way, man, this is another conversation that I seen on Twitter where people were like talking about if the Chiefs were a dynasty or not, because Travis Kelce had said that no matter what anybody thinks, they're a dynasty. And I tend to agree with him. I don't think there's any set rules on what a dynasty is. It's not like, hey, you have to have 3 championships or 5 championships. I don't think that's what it is. It's like an era. It's like a a period of time and how dominant you are. And since Patrick
Right.
Mahomes became the starter of the Kansas City Chiefs, they have been undoubtedly, undeniable, completely, and 100% dominant in the NFL. Like,
Exactly.
they've been to three of the last four Super Bowls and won two of them. They've won, 7 AFC West championships in a row. Patrick Mahomes has never played an away game in the playoffs except for the Super Bowl that they lost to Tampa Bay, where the NFL gave them a home game that year.
Right.
You know.
Check it out. They lost a home game where Tyreek Hill and every receiver dropped every single ball. All of our offensive line got injured the day before. So that was horrible. And then if you go back and look in the year we lost in the playoffs to Joe Burrow and they went, Mahomes literally only played one half of football and then let them win in the second half. And then they totally stole one when D Ford was over the line just to, after we pick one off. So this has been the most dominant era of football there's been since the Patriots. It's not even close. I don't think you have to say they got to have three. Dude, Mahomes is going to have 3 Super Bowls. Don't worry your little head about that one.
That's what I'm getting ready to. That's what I was getting ready to say, man. How much longer is this going to go? Because right now, the way it's looking, the Chiefs are going to be a force for a while. I mean, they're a very, very young team. They're one of the youngest rosters in the entire league. Still got Patrick Mahomes right here in his prime. I think that there's a good chance that the Chiefs continue this dominance for, say, another 7 years. And then what are we talking about then? Are you going to be looking back on this time and being like, I was the idiot that was denying that this team was great, or, man, I was just, I realized what's in reality. And what's cool is there's a lot of people on these comments talking about this. I'm talking Raiders fans, Patriots fans, you name it, that were on there like, dude, everybody stop denying it. They're obviously a dynasty right now, and just deal with it.
I think you only deny it if you're a hater, right? You just have to be one of those. You got to be those internet haters in their mama's basements. That's the guy. Same guys that'll come on and they'll find something to poke and prod at no matter what you do. As a content creator, you'll get it. We get it. We get it all the time. If somebody don't like our music selection, they tell us about it. Like they're our producer for the show or something.
Whatever you don't like, put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments. There's a lot. You'll be here all day. So go ahead. That's going to help us with the algorithm. Go ahead and hit that like button too while you're down there. Steve, what do you think our defense is going to look like this year? Let's start with some defensive talk. A lot of people want us to talk about defense. How about we take a crack at who our starters are going to be on the defense? How about that? Let's do that. Top 11 defensive starters. Let's go ahead and throw that out there. Have a little bit of debate. People's wanting to know. I'll let you start with the defensive line. Who do you think is going to be our top 4 defensive linemen this year going into the season?
Okay, so I don't know how the snap count's going to shake out because they're going to rotate and everything, but I do believe that the starting defensive ends are going to be Charles Omenihu and George Karlaftis. And then on the inside there, Chris Jones, and I think Turk Wharton, if he's healthy. I think that's the front 4 right there.
I think I have to agree with you. I think Karlaftis is definitely sealed on that edge. I believe Omenihu has to get that. I don't believe they put the rookie there to start it off. I just don't see it happening. I will say Chris Jones starts, and then, like you said, it's going to be between Turk Wharton or how does it line up? Do they think the first play is going to be a run? If so, you might see Coburn or Noddy out there. But I do believe that Turk Wharton would be higher on the depth chart, in my opinion. I'll go ahead. I think we agree. So I'll go ahead and go to linebackers. I think Leo's going to start this year. I think Bolton starts, and I honestly think Willie Gay starts. I don't think Tranquil will be the starter. Although that's not saying Tranquil's not going to have as many snaps as the rest of them. I just think day one he will not be the starter out there. I think Leo's going to have the job. If there is somebody that Tranquil takes the spot, it probably could be Leo's side, but I don't see how much Tranquil actually plays that strong side linebacker.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I think people will probably be a little bit surprised at this one because everybody's excited about Drew Tranquil. But, I mean, it's not taking anything away from what he's going to offer this team whatsoever. Just because you're not on the field on the first snap of the game doesn't mean squat. Right.
Yeah, so moving on to corner. We'll do corner. I think we're both in agreement. Snead and McDuffie are your top 2 corners.
100%.
We'll go ahead and pick 2 more corners. The top 2 corners after that is going to be Watson and Williams. I firmly believe that. That's going to be your top 4 corners. Rotate them how you will. Start them how you will. I don't know what he's going to start. I don't know if he's going to start with a nickel or a dime or whatever he's going to play.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. So if you're asking for starters, essentially, we've already picked 7 with the defensive line and the linebackers.
So you got to take 2.
That leaves you 4. So you got to take, I think you just go ahead and you say
2 corner, 2 safety.
L'Jarius, Snead, McDuffie, and then for safeties, we'll move on to safeties.
I'm going to take Justin Reed. That's a lot.
Justin Reed and Brian Cook, I think, is what's going to happen. I think Brian Cook can get that starting job, and I think it'll be similar to the Drew Tranquil situation, where Mike Edwards will probably rotate in there at that position.
I was gonna say when camp comes around, if Mike Edwards turns into that guy, and Brian Cook still has struggles here and there, could see Mike Edwards get that second the safety start. I do think you're going to have guys like Chamari Connor and all these guys, Najee Johnson.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's step back to, can we step back to corner for a minute, and we'll just kind of get an idea of what the depth chart might look like there. Okay. Obviously, the two starters per se is going to be L'Jarius Sneed and Trent McDuffie. I think after them, I think you have to look straight to Joshua Williams and Jalen Watson. Am I correct?
Yeah, those are the two you got to look at. That's going to be it. We got a couple UDFAs. We've got Reese coming in from Purdue. You've got Echo Boydo from K-State.
We have our 7th-round draft pick, Nick Jones.
You've got Nick Jones. You've got Najee Johnson. There's so many there. You even got Chamari Connor if you want to look at it that way, whether that's going to be a safety, that's going to be a corner. Who knows? There's a lot of depth. And again, this always comes back to, is Sneed going to be victim of the contract, the Rashad Fenton of 2022? Is that going to happen? And I believe if there's one spot on this team that is super deep that you could do that and play with the contract, it's that one. And if you told me that Sneed has to go in order to save Nick Bolton, I'm doing that all day long. I'm keeping Nick Bolton.
100%.
That's where my money's going on that defense.
A lot of people have Willie Gay on that list, too, of guys that could be shipped off because of contracts coming up and everything. But I think that L'Jarius Sneed's probably more on thin ice than Willie Gay just because of what we just talked about. I think there's more room in that secondary than there is in the linebacker room to lose a veteran like that. L'Jarius Sneed, as much as I love the guy, as great as he's been, I have this weird feeling, man, the Chiefs don't like to pay cornerbacks. We've seen it over and over and over again. They're not in the greatest cap situation as it sits. And I think that they're so deep there, and they've invested so much in the cornerback room that it leaves a little bit of wiggle room to where they might be able to deal him off, get something of value out of him, whether it's draft picks or whatever, and move on.
Right. Name one guy at each position that excites you this year, whether it might be somebody upcoming, somebody that might turn it on. What do you got at defensive end? Who excites you for the Chiefs at defensive end this year?
I'm going to go with Charles Omenihu. And I believe I'm going to say that because it's kind of like Richie James on the offense. Like, they're coming off of their best year as a pro. Brett Veach got them while they're still young. They're kind of, they're on the uptrend. I think Charles Omenihu is going to be fun to watch. A lot of people forget about the guy, too. He gets lost in the conversation because we start talking about George Karlaftis and Felix Anudike-Uzoma and, hey, can we get Frank Clark back and stuff like that. A lot of people forget about Charles Omenihu, man, so I'm going to show him some love. I'm pretty excited to see what he does.
Right. I agree with you right there. I think that's a good pick. A lot of people want to see what Felix can do. Felix is going to be a victim of snap count, I believe, a lot of the time. Then again, he could turn it on. He could be awesome. I'll go to defensive tackle. You know who I think is going to have a good one? And I understand Coburn. I understand everybody's looking at that. But the one I'm going to say is Turk Wharton. I think if Turk Wharton can stay healthy, we've not yet to see Turk Wharton play an entire full season at the level I think he could get to. And I think this could be the year. So I'm going to take Turk Wharton as my surprise guy this year, that if he comes out healthy and stays with it, I think you're going to see some big things from Turk Wharton, and I'll let you take linebackers.
I'm going to say Leo Chanel straight up because I keep saying that he might be that dark horse guy on the defense that really busts out this year in year two. I want to lean towards Drew Tranquil because I think he's going to be super exciting. He's just one of those players that play hard all the time. He's a good football player. And I think it'll be a breath of fresh air for the Chiefs to have that linebacker that can play in the coverage and do a lot of different things. But I'm going to go ahead and give it to Leo just because I think that Leo showed great improvement throughout his rookie year. He ended up starting by the end of the year, and I think this is the year he busted out of his shell.
So last year we had a lot of corners step up, Steve. We had Josh Williams. We had Watson. McDuffie looked good, man. He fought through some injuries, but he still looked good. He was locked down. L'Jarius Sneed had a good year. I think this year with the DBs, I want to focus on the safeties. I think the safeties are going to have a better year this year than last. I believe Justin Reed's going to turn it on in his second year. I believe you're going to see big steps from Brian Cook, and a lot of people are still overlooking Mike Edwards. The kid's a ball hawk. He played really well in Tampa. There's a lot of people throughout the league that said he's not even hit his full potential yet. So I'm going to say our safeties are going to shine this year when it comes to DBs, and that's where I'll leave it at that. I think when you look at it, I think our defense is more solid. I think you're going to have a lot of new emerging guys step up this year. I believe by the end of the year, Steve, we're going to be a top 5 defense. I keep saying it over and over.
Yeah, for sure. And since you didn't pick a player, you totally copped out on picking a player in the secondary. I'm going to go ahead and say Justin Reed. I'm excited to see what he does in the second year with the Chiefs because we all know how explosive he can be. And I think a lot of people thought he was a little underwhelming last year, which if you go back and look at the tape, though, he's pretty daggone solid all year long. So I'm excited to see how he does in the second year in this defense.
Yep, me too. That's going to wrap it up for today, guys. If you guys haven't, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Go ahead and click the bell so you know when we release a video. Leave a comment. That always helps with the algorithm. Go Chiefs. Aside from my soul.